Assalamu alaikum. It's me, just demonstrating. This is how I dressed in Egypt for 25 years. And then we have this. It's an elastic. And you just pull it down when you want to. Now, because of my advanced age, I'm allowed to do something like this. But I never pulled it down when I was out because it's really quite comfortable. And it makes you feel so secure and happy. Now, I'm telling you this because I will wear it when I go to the masjid the day after tomorrow for the Eid prayer. But I am free to do this. I'm just showing you. And you pull it up. It's got an elastic in the back. Yeah, can I walk in like this? I can do whatever I want. Then when I get in with the women, I'll do this. And then I'll more or less make an advertisement for it. Because there are some women, very, very few, who wear niqab here in Florida, but they never go out of the house. And when they do, they go with their family with tinted windows. But you see, I don't see what the big problem is. Women are free to choose. So in America, women are free to choose to go to the beach in a bikini or to go in Walmart in something resembling a bikini, and they make a big deal out of the niqab. I'm going to show you again. Now, is that such a big deal? You're supposed to pull it up, though, so that it doesn't look, it has to look proper, okay? So now, would that scare you if I were outside in a public place? It shouldn't. What should scare you are those people with piercings all over their nose and face, and their bones are readjusted in their cheekbones, and then they have, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. I have like another half hour before I can eat my iftar. So I thought I'd do this because, before you go, you decide what you're going to wear. I always wear the same thing because I like it. Navy blue, I like it. Also black is my favorite, but special occasions, I have the special thing that I have from Cairo. It's just plain navy blue, but it's really 3 pieces. It's nice. And I miss Egypt so much with everyone wearing niqabs all over the place and nobody makes a big deal out of it. And sometimes they'll even say to me, "Why do you wear niqab? You're old enough, you don't have to." See, there's all that have to stuff. Did you ever hear about freedom? I'm here to teach you about freedom. I know I don't have to, but I love it. And I miss it when I'm here. It's just a special feeling you have when you go out of the house. I'll never forget the first time I put it on. Someone gave it to me. She brought it to me as a gift from Mecca when she went to Hajj. And it was in a pretty gift bag. And she said, just take this little gift from me. Just don't open it now. Just when you're in the mood, just open it and think of me that I gave it to you with the intention that I love you for the sake of Allah, that kind of thing. And it stayed in my drawer, I don't know, a month or two. And one morning, it was Friday morning, and I said, "Oh, let's see what's in that bag." And I saw it was a niqab. And I thought, "Oh, I'm alone now. I think I'll try it." And I did. And I walked out of my building. And the minute I hit the street, I had this feeling, of course I was nervous, but I had this feeling of complete peace, complete serenity. And I walked down to the masjid, just at the end of the street, and I was thinking, I can see everyone. and they can't see me. I can look around and know what's going on. What's the problem? I loved it from the beginning. I really did. See? Anyway, it's a free choice, as it should be. But now, of course, at Ramadan time, they're just loving to post all over everywhere. Oh, this country has forbidden it totally. This country is going to follow suit. This country is calling for everyone to do it because you never know who's behind that. This is the trio, the Holy Trinity. It could be a prostitute. It could be a thief. Or worse, it could be a convicted killer. Oh, it could be a terrorist. All those big clothes, they can have dynamite strapped to them. And you see what we go through? So, how much time do I have left? I'm so hungry. I don't get thirsty, though. I get hungry. And I get a little bit tired sometimes. At the very end, the last couple of days of the fasting. But it's going to be a beautiful Eid for all of us. I just have a feeling Allah's going to do something really, really, really special. Something big and special. And we're all going to be saying, as the Hadith has taught us, that at the end times, which we're in, obviously we're in them, and the events are going to unfold like beads on a string. Once one drops off, like dominoes, all the others are going to just fall like that quickly. And the Hadith said that when it happens, each event, we will say, oh, that's why. I'm paraphrasing the Arabic, but now I get it. And remember, one of the signs is the death of a leader. And there is controversy among scholars. Could that be the King of England or could that be the King of Saudi Arabia? Allah knows. But the death of a leader is going to be one of the major signs. So the notifications coming up, they're coming up on my screen. I hope they don't bother you if they come up on your screen. I don't know how this works. Oh, so anyway, I'm just kind of missing you. It's like I don't want to hang up because I'm not going to talk to you tomorrow. And then, of course, the Eid, I'll be too busy as well. So I'll see you after a couple of days. And all my best wishes and all my dua go out to you and your families. And that Allah will make it a happy day for you and all of those you love. And Allahu Akbar. What's better than Allahu Akbar? Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.